Hello, dear students. I am Samir Velankar. I welcome all of you to this next video on functions in C. And here we are going to see GATE 2019 question. Personally, my favorite question. I really applaud GATE to have asked such an interesting question. Well, without bothering with what the question is actually is what is the output of this program, we will directly trace the program from main. In main, there is a for loop, and look at this. For has three parts, isn't it? Initialization, condition, and change. Now, the initialization part is in fact called to the function. So, the function R is called, and in the function R, there is a static variable declared whose value is 7. I hope you know all the properties of static variable R. But now here I am drawing a section of R, and in that there is a static variable called num, and num is 7. So next line is returning num minus minus. Now, this minus minus over here is the postfix decrement, isn't it? So what that means is the function R will return num. This is the great way of reading it. It will return num. That means it will return 7 back at the call. You know that the function always returns value at the call. So the initialization part where we have called R function is going to get 7 as the return value. But most importantly, after returning the value, num is going to become 6. Num is going to become 6 because of that minus minus. Okay, let's clean the slate and check it out again. Num is now 6, isn't it? What has happened till now? Till now, the R function which was running was having static num equal to 7, but the function R has returned num, which is 7 back at the call, and then num minus minus was done, so num became 6. Now what next? After the for does initialization, everybody knows it checks the condition. So this condition part is again the call to the same function R. The same function R runs, and you know, I hope you know the property of static variable. Static variable will not be 7 now. It cannot be 7. It is 6. Static variables are preserved in the memory, and their latest value or their previous value is used by the function. So R will maintain its value 6 num, so that next time when the same function is called, the earlier value will be used. Okay, next line is return num and then do minus minus. That's the correct way of reading it. Return num, and after returning num, reduce the value of num. So the function is going to return 6 at the call, but after returning 6, num will become 5. Now what do you see here? This is the condition, isn't it? You all know that the middle part that we write in the for loop is the condition, and condition is 6. Now what kind of condition is this? 6. Now from earlier discussions of control structures and all that, you may recall that any any non-zero value, any non-zero value in C is true, is treated as true, and 0 is false. So if you are asked suddenly what is 25, you say that's true. 25 is true. And what is minus 3? It is true. Or what is 0? It is false. Any non-zero value is true. So you can see that this middle part, is the condition, and condition is true. So this printf runs, but when this printf runs, of course, because when the condition is true, the job runs, after initialization, condition is checked, and if the condition is true, the job runs. So this printf runs, but in this printf, there is again a call to R. So the function R gets called again. This function R gets called again, and it returns num. So current value of num is 5. So it will return 5 at the call. Here it will return 5 at the call. But after returning 5, num will become 4, the static variable. Now the printf is going to print 5. So this is the correct option B. But anyway, let's continue. First output is 5. Now what happens? After the job is done, whenever the job is over, whenever the job is done, for loop will always go back to its change part, isn't it? This is the change part. So, but in the change part, there is again a function called r. So let me clean the slate. Remember, num is right now 4. Okay. So I'll redraw this, and just to clean the slate, r is a function which is having static num equal to 4 now. And due to this part, the function gets called again, this function. But the function returns num, and after returning num, it decreases num. So what it returns is 4 over here, and after returning num becomes 3. Now, after the change, obviously the control will come to condition, isn't it? That's the way how the for operates. After job, go back to change, and after change, go to condition, and if the condition is true, go back to job. So what is that? What is that condition again? Call the function. So the function r gets called again. In the function, we are returning num. So we are returning 3. 3 will get returned here at the call. But after returning 3, num will become 2. But 3 is true, isn't it? Note this condition here. This condition is true. 3 means true. So if the condition is true, job is done. And the job is print r. So there is again a function call. So r gets called, the same function r, and it returns num again, but num this time is 2. Observe this, num is 2. So 2 is returned, and after returning 2, num will reduce, num will become 1. But what's important is this printf, which I am marking here, is going to print 2. And you note earlier output was 5. So the correct output is 5 2. Okay, but let's continue. Currently, r is equal to 1, isn't it? Check that. R is 1. Currently, r, the static variable num, is 1. Anyway, we got the output, no doubt about it. We know B is the correct option. Now, this r has currently printed 2, this 2, but also static variable num has become 1. Now, after that, after the job is done, always the control goes back to the change. But the change is the call to function, isn't it? Change is the call to function. So r gets called, and it returns num. So what it is returning is 1. It returns 1, but after returning 1, num will become 0. What happens after the change? After the change, condition is checked, but condition is the call to the function. So function gets called r, and it returns num. Very interesting, very interestingly. Look how the question is made. I really applaud this. You see that num is returned and num is 0. So 0 is returned here, and after returning num will become -1. But what is this 0? What is this 0 exactly? 0 means false, and this condition written in the middle here is false. So the for loop ends and the program ends. What a superb question, isn't it? Now, why I continued explaining this is because the for loop should end, correct? If the for loop never finished, then it would have been a forever loop, and none of the options would have been correct. But gate people cannot be wrong, and obviously there is a time where this condition, I'll just erase the slate, where where this condition has to get a value 0, and 0 means false. So whenever the condition is false, the loop simply breaks, and the next line runs, which is return 0 and end of the code. So the correct output is 52. I hope you found this question very interesting. I found it very interesting, and I'm sure you did the same. Thank you very much.